everybody. I hope everyone is doing well at home. And we are 1 week away from spring break. So I know everybody's super excited about having some downtime, but we've got two more art projects to get through before then. We're going to do one this week, and I'm going to record another one for you guys for next week, even though I know you're off. But, sometimes, even on break, sometimes we don't go anywhere, and we just need something to kind of keep us busy and keep us occupied. So I'm going to make a lesson for you guys for next week for you to do throughout the week of spring break, but it's not going to be mandatory. You won't have to submit it to me if you don't get around to doing it, but I think it's something that you're going to want to try. We're going to switch gears a little bit from our drawing and from our painting, and we're going to start moving into sculpture a little bit right now. So I think this will be something easy and fun for you guys to do at home. And all you're going to really need is some tin foil, tape or glue, a scissor, and a couple pieces of cardboard. And then there will be additional ways that you can make this project more detailed if you want to, but the bare minimum supplies are just going to be the aluminum foil. You can get a whole roll of that at the dollar store, so you don't have to use any of Mom's from the kitchen. A couple pieces of cardboard from an Amazon box or from a package box or anything really, and you don't even need it. You can use cardstock or piece of construction paper, but you want it to kind of be sturdy, so that's why I was thinking construction cardboard box would be really good for this. Some glue or some tape, because your sculpture is going to be mounted onto this onto a base, and you'll need a couple pens or pencils and markers. Maybe a black marker or a gray marker. And like I said, at the end, I'll give some more suggestions for if you want to make this a more detailed type of project. But we're going to just start with the very, very basic things, okay? So we're going to go ahead over to the overhead camera, and I'm going to show you. First, I'm going to show you what we're going for here. We're going to be working with the idea of shadow and sculpture. So this is my sculpture guy. He's sitting crisscross applesauce. I have him taped to the paper, but he's a little floppy. And now that I'm looking at it, I made his shadow a little bit too big. But sometimes shadows are bigger than our bodies, aren't they? And so if he were, oops, he fell over. Oh, I'm so sorry, tinfoil guy. So let's say he's sitting like this. If the light were coming from the top left-hand side and going down on him like this, the light, if this was let's say this was our light source here. I'm going to use a prop. Hold on, let me get it here for you. Ugh, had to rip off a piece of string. This bead here, this is my light source. This is the sun. If the sun were beating down from over here and beating down on his face, it would cast a shadow behind him, okay? If the sun were coming from over here, above and behind him, his shadow would go forward, okay? So it would be in front of him. But we're going to act as if the light source is up here in front of his face, okay? That's why I made the shadow going back this way. And so I know he's going to kind of fall over again, but just to give you an idea, I was just kind of trying to hurry up and get a shadow on here, but we're going to go for, this is what we're mainly going for, is the sculpture itself. Okay, once you get the sculpture down, you can do whatever you want with it. So I'm going to put this away for a minute and come back over here. Now I ripped out a piece of tin foil. I'd say it's about, I don't know, about 18 to 22 inches. See if we can measure that and see if I can get an exact measurement for you. 5, 10, yeah, 18 inches. So 18 inches is good. You can make it a little smaller or a little bit bigger if you want to. And once you rip your tin foil out, I have a light shining here so you can see more clearly, but there might be a glare here from the tin foil, so let me move the light. Let's see. Okay, so over here I have two lines that say, this says arm, and over here another line says arm. So these lines are going to be cut. We're going to cut those lines. Head, torso, leg, leg, and another line right down the middle. And don't worry so much if you can't tell exactly. I'm going to show you how we're going to do this. Now I'm doing this the planned way, which involves cutting. But the way I made that first guy was just ripping and playing with tinfoil. Have you ever just gotten a piece of tinfoil from like leftovers or something and you just start rolling it around into something? Well, that's sculpture. That's how you make sculpture. Okay. So now I've cut out all of my pieces. I didn't want to cut all the way down because I want this attached to his body. I'm going to start with his legs. I'm going to put my hand here just for stability because I don't want it to rip. Sometimes we're a little too, see it's already starting to rip. You just got to be really careful about how you do it. Alright, so he's going to get a fat leg first. And then I'm going to be real careful over here. You might need to do this a couple times just to get comfortable with how to sculpt with tinfoil. It is going to rip. Okay? Alright. So now we've got his legs, sort of. His arms, we're going to go ahead and... Now, the good thing about tinfoil is you can manipulate it. It means you can move it where you want it to go. And the best thing about tinfoil is that if you rip it, guess what? You can go get some more. And you can reattach it with tape or more tinfoil. You smush it where you want it to go. Okay. Alright, so now we've got the beginning of a body here. We've even got, maybe it could even be a robot. You can leave it just like that. And then torso is the upper body, and then this is the head. So we're going to squish that all together, and we're going to just start kind of smushing him together. His legs should be the longest part of his body, right? Because if you look at your own body, your legs are the longest part of your body. And you're just going to keep working with it. You may need to put another piece of tinfoil over this to make it more sturdy. I do want his head a little bit bigger. And what you're going for here is a nice, compact, firmly squeezed tinfoil sculpture. Because if it's not, and it's loose and kind of weak and dangly, it's going to fall apart. I'm going to want it to fall apart. Okay? There's his body. I'm going to squeeze it a little bit smaller for his neck. Okay. We're getting there. You can bend his feet out a little bit, right? Let me bring that light back over here just a little bit. Alright, we got a nice little guy here. Or gal, whatever. It doesn't have to be anything. Okay, now, so he's kind of bendy. He can kind of move his body around a little bit. I just want to squeeze his legs a little bit tighter. Make his body a little bit tighter. His body is going to feel less thick than his legs because there was more tinfoil used for. So if that's the case and you feel like you just need it to be a little bit more sturdy, I'm going to take a small piece of tinfoil, small enough to, and you can just kind of go around his body again, make him a little bit more sturdy. You can also make clothes out of tinfoil for your person, if you want to. Alright, nice. We have a nice little tinfoil person here. And now what you're going to do is, I'm going to go ahead and get my cardboard here. We're gonna practice a little bit of the shadows. So what I'm going to do is, I didn't want to glue him down because I didn't want to wait for the glue to dry right now. But you're at home, and so you have a whole week to work on this. So you can go ahead and glue him. I'm going to just tape him down for now. And I'm only going to tape down one of his legs. I'm not going to tape down both of his legs right now. Okay, you see, so this is what I've got. And now you can have some fun. Like, you can kick his leg up. You can, I know you're seeing it sideways, or from above, I'm sorry. You can kick his leg up. You can have his leg run backward like he's running or kicking a ball. I'll show you just a sec. Here he is. He's kind of running. You can have some fun with this guy. You can paint the bottom if you want to. This is what I was talking about before as far as, creating more of a detailed project. You can create a body, a bottom for him where he's going to be um, interacting with. So if this is grass or if this is a swimming pool or if this is asphalt or whatever, you can go looking around your house, look for found objects, some of that fun stuff that we've talked about earlier in the year. You could do a whole floor of pom-poms if you want to, or sand if you've got colored sand, or sand from the beach if you go on a trip and you've got some sand or some shells laying around. You can do string, you can do cotton balls, you can do just drawing it. I mean, there's so many things that you can do with this. And if you want to try the shadow, so what you would do is, I don't know that I can create a shadow, but I'm going to try. Let's see if I can kind of. The light, this light is not bright enough to create a shadow for him. It's an LED light, but so here's my guy. I guess his head would be up here. Basically, I'm drawing him laying flat as I see him in 3D. And this doesn't have to be like anything perfect. It just has to basically have the same shape as what you're looking at, what you posed him into. Shadows are sometimes longer than our real body, sometimes thicker. All right, now I'm going to do this is going to meet where his first leg goes. Because his leg is running, see, so now it looks like his shadow is behind him. Cool, right? I think it's fun. And so now it's your turn, okay? Next week we might do something else with tinfoil, which will be a little bit more involved, a little bit different of an exercise, but go ahead and make a whole tinfoil family if you want to. Make a whole bunch of characters out of your tinfoil. You can color them with Sharpie marker. Sharpie works really, really well on tinfoil. If you want to paint on the tinfoil, then what you should do is get some masking tape, the cream colored masking tape, we've used it before, and wrap the whole body in a layer of masking tape, and then you can paint on top of the masking tape. You just need to seal it with like some Mod Podge or 50-50 glue and water mix. So it would be like if you did an ounce of glue, an ounce of water, and then mix it up really well and put it all onto the tape, and it would seal it, let it dry, and then you could paint on top of it. But you can also use Sharpie marker somewhat, and when it's in this raw form, crinkled up like this, it's a little bit harder to color, but you can cut things out of construction paper or felt or string, and you can wrap him like that if you want to. So I want you guys to think of some ways that you can interact with your sculpture. If you want to do it as a gesture shadow drawing like I did, then that would be great. If you want to just make the sculpture and glue it onto a base, that's fine. If you want to glue it on flat, you can. You don't have to make it popping off of the top like it's standing up like I did. If you would rather, for some of the littler ones, some of you younger kids, if you want to just work on cardboard with the tin foil and then glue it down, you can do that. You can make different things. faces, bodies, animals, whatever you'd like, okay? But whatever you do, enjoy it, have fun. Don't be too hard on yourself if it doesn't come out right the first time. Remember, this is just tin foil. Very cheap, it's very easy to get. And I want you guys to have a good time and enjoy your sculptures, okay? All right, I can't wait to see what you guys make, and thanks for watching. Watch out for next week's video. It will be posted even though we're on spring break. I will post you a video. All right, guys, take care.